Now, Mr. Speaker, the Home Secretary confirmed that the 3 individuals charged over the weekend entered the UK illegally, including by small boat. As recently as March of this year, just a few weeks ago, I think it was on March the 6th, extremist Abu Wadi entered the UK by small boat. He had previously been pictured on social media wielding an AK-47, throwing pipe bombs and calling for the slaughter of Jews. This is the kind of illegal immigrant who is able to enter the country by small boat.
You love it.
Now, the Home Secretary talks about her new bill, which we debated a week ago today. But the truth is, it won't make very much difference. Confiscating mobile phones from illegal immigrants and slightly enhanced powers to monitor communications will not stop the crossings. The Border Security Commander has no actual powers other than to publish an annual report and set some strategic objectives. I don't think people smugglers are going to worry too much about that. What will stop the crossings is a proper deterrent, so all those who arrive, not some, all those who arrive are removed. Then they will not bother to attempt the crossing in the first place. This deterrent approach worked in Australia about 10 years ago. So the Home Secretary must by now be regretting cancelling the Rwanda deterrent before it even started. Crossings since she became Home Secretary are up by 30% year on year, and 2025 so far has been the worst in history. Does she finally agree it is time to follow other countries and establish a proper removals deterrent applying to all those who arrive illegally by small boat? It's time to bring back Rwanda. In their first 6 months in office, the government have not returned a single Iranian to Iran, not one, including Iranian criminals. Does the Home Secretary agree it is now time to repeal the Human Rights Act for immigration matters so criminals and other dangerous people can be more easily removed from the UK and cannot any longer persuade UK judges to allow them to stay here on ever more tenuous human rights grounds? The only way to protect our borders and ensure security is to remove all illegal immigrants as soon as they arrive, and I hope she urgently adopts that policy.
Home Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, I would just say to the Shadow Home Secretary, he was an immigration minister when the number of small boat crossings soared, when net migration soared. On his watch, controls were reduced. Under his party, we saw returns plummet. This government is clear that the rules need to be respected and enforced, and that is why this government is introducing counter-terrorism-style powers to strengthen our border security, something that his party shockingly has repeatedly voted against. He refers still to his Rwanda scheme that cost £700 million and sent 4 volunteers, just 4 volunteers in the 2 years that it was operational, sent 4 volunteers to Rwanda. And frankly, when it comes to our national security, border security is a part of our national security. And I'm sorry that he is not sufficiently taking seriously the national security threats that we face. I supported the work that his government did on the bringing in the National Security Act. But as he will know, I repeatedly warned that the powers were not strong enough to be able to use legislation designed for terrorism to be able to prescribe state-backed organisations. We did repeatedly call on his government, if they were not able to prescribe the IRGC, we called on them to strengthen and amend the powers to be able to do so under national security provisions. In fact, we even put forward an amendment to the National Security Act in the last Parliament, and his party voted against it. So I'm glad that he now says he will support our measures to strengthen our national security and to bring forward stronger prescribing powers so that they can be used against all kinds of state-backed organisations or state organisations that might attempt to do us harm. because our national security is the first duty of any government, and that is why this government will continue to take ever stronger action to pursue issues around criminality, issues around extremist or terrorist threats, and issues around border threats and issues around national security threats. That is how we keep our communities safe.